If somebody new was asking me about, what Gateway is, some of the things that I might say are that it's a really welcoming church. You'll see at Gateway solid biblical preaching and music that kind of ranges from contemporary to traditional, just depending on the day.
It's like my personal experience with the church. It's incredibly welcoming, and it really wants you to get involved. We don't just want you to be a passive person in the pew. We do a lot of sermon series that go through books of the Bible, really looking at Scripture as a cohesive unit and figuring out what God was doing throughout the whole of Scripture and how that applies to what He's still doing today.
It's a church that's really focused on community and is also really focused on outreach.
The worship is incredible.
Both old hymns put to new tunes to very contemporary songs where I just heard it for the first time on the radio.
I mean, it's not just singing songs. It's getting you to a place where you can delve into your relationship with God and both confess and then accept the grace that He so freely gives us.
Well, I can tell you for myself that my family, we came here because of sound teaching and preaching of the Scripture. That was, for me, having grown up as a preacher's kid, it's an absolute necessity of life. That, believe it or not, there's a lot of really good churches perhaps in this area that don't have the most sound teaching and preaching, and I think that's the strongest point for me about Gateway.
As soon as I came to visit the church, people started asking me how I might want to be involved. It was a place, and it is a place, where there's something for pretty much everybody to do.
And the church I had gone to before this one, I went there for a year and I don't think anybody in the church knew my name. And the second I walked in here, people asked about me. The next time I came, they remembered that I was here last week and they wanted me to be involved. And I craved that in a church. I wanted to learn, and it was true. They had very, very solid biblical teaching, and I loved that, but they also knew me as an individual, and that makes all the difference in the world.
After my freshman year, what made me decide to stay here was definitely the community that's here. The people wanted to know me, I wanted to know them. There was a great sense of what it means to be in the family of God here.
The members of Gateway have to be involved in a small group and in a ministry. So everybody who is a member of the church has to be plugged in, has to be involved. So you see that the people in the church are really building community with one another in really intentional ways.
I'm a college professor, and these young men and women are important to me. It's an important time in founding their life and a firm foundation being finalized that they can go out into the world with. And on top of that, while I love college students and working with them, for a church, you have to have a large portion of community members as well. And Gateway just has this wonderful growth of witness and persons from our community. There's a real sense that we have a mission to reach this community, to be involved here in the community as a whole, not just the colleges, the schools, but the entire community, and to draw from that community. And it's young families that we're attracting right now, and it's just really neat to see the children and the young people serving the Lord together.
It's family. And Chris White's beard is, of course, a reason to stay.